All right, guys, what is going on? What is good? What is good? Hopefully you guys are having a blessed day today. Let's see if we can get excuse me, the camera on. We should be good now. We should be good now. Man, I woke up late today. Son. But it's still a good day, though. What's good? Naruto, Willow, Felix, 2020, Lucas, Andreas, I Spy, Jada. Hello. What's up? Can you guys do a sound check for me? Drop a 1. Drop a 1 if you can hear me. $9R on NQ. Nice. Eating a taco right now. Blessed. It's good. Edgar, Lee Bright. Nikki. Zay. What up? What up? So, what do we got for today? You know, as much as I probably should have got out of bed and looked at the markets, 14,900. If you guys remember, that was an alert I think we talked about on Friday as a potential upside. Yeah, Andreas, appreciate that. Drop a like as well for me. If you could. Told you I woke up late today. So all my usual habits are, I don't know, out the window. So with these highs intact here, Nasdaq looking like our strongest index today, I think that could easily be an upside objective for today. On, what was it? On Friday, we talked about 42.35 as a potential downside in here. And it was crazy too, because right after coming off this mitigation, I was saying I originally wanted to short that, but I decided not to. Which, you know, when you see something and then you don't take it, that's the one that usually is a good one, right? So that's what happened. I missed out. And that level though, 42.35, that should not, like, you shouldn't delete that level just because the market, you know, closes in the afternoon. That should still be on your chart. So we opened higher on Sunday, did a whole lot of nothing until London, and then London sent us below 42.35. And obviously with this consolidation here, you know, I've been telling you guys for, I don't know, on you excuse me, on YouTube it's been months. Some of my students have been around for a few years, and you know, I've been saying to study consolidations. Why? Well, look at it, bro. Consolidation, drop down into a higher time frame. Well, this would be higher time frame liquidity because this level is derived on the daily, right? So it consolidates, drops down, high time frame liquidity. I think this, we can stay on the 15 for right now. You have a high here and then a higher high here, right? And what is price doing here? After breaking structure, it leaves an imbalance on the way to liquidity. Imbalance model, simple. You might have looked at this as a mitigation as well. Low, high, lower low that took London's low. Go watch the liquidity video. Okay, so what's that right there? That's the mitigation model, right? Mitigation and that 15-minute imbalance overlap. That qualifies. High probability target. That qualifies. Pick a fucking model, bro. Just pick one. Whichever one you like. So all this in here has already been taught to you, man. That's one of my favorite parts about being an educator. It's just like, all right, you get taught something once or twice, and then it's just, hey, look at it, repeat, look at it, repeat, look at it, repeat. Makes what I do a little bit easier. Instead of having to try to explain this over and over again, I'm just like, look, here it is again and again. And it's fun. It is fun. But what's not fun is missing moves. And I understand that. I definitely understand that. The Nasdaq didn't have the same story. It was slightly different. It was more of like an immediate mitigation here. So like, you see how there's no space? Like with S&P, we left it and then came back to it later. Whereas the Nasdaq, it trades above all these highs at 855, and then that next candle trades right into that. Rallies, down candle, rallies, down candle. And we've been rallying since then. So I wouldn't long this right now, because, you know, me personally, it's rather late, and I think the majority of the moves already happened. But what I am watching, I want to see if price respects this imbalance to launch us up here. I don't know. You know, I prefer runs on trailing stops. You know, if I'm going to enter in the afternoon. And right now, I just really don't see that. Like, I don't see anything distinctive here. Other than those two. So, right now we're just going to be chilling. Just be chilling. Was good, Stephanie? Today was a crazy day. 3 home runs, 2 missed, and clapped 1. 3 home runs, 2 missed, and clapped 1. So that is 3 wins and a loss. That's pretty good. 75%. 3 out of 4. That's not bad. That is not bad, my friends. I had the imbalance in 5 minutes after the stop run. On which one, Lee Bright? Which one are you referring to? S&P? Yeah, you're welcome, Sean. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I made... I think 2. I can't remember. Can't remember to write shit down either. Let me see. Okay, so I made 2 brand new playlists, and then I updated the members only videos playlist as well. So if you didn't know, I posted yesterday on my Instagram. I post this is in the Discord as well. I posted, I think, 3 of them. I don't know. Anyway, one of them is the Smart Money Sniper course, which I included 2 of my old videos from the original sniper course. And then I dropped a 3rd video this morning. So that's 3 new videos for that playlist. Now, those are old. They're classics. All right. Dude, oh my God. Let me tell you something before I continue. I went back and I watched the video. Oh my God, bro. Listen, I thought those videos were super great. I still think they are. But my language was terrible. I kept saying, okay, all right, you know. I kept saying shit like that. And so I spent like 45 minutes yesterday cutting all that shit out for the open interest video. I was like, I'm sitting there listening to myself and I'm like, how did you guys listen to this? This is horrible. I'm like, this is horrible. So I edited all that stuff out so it flows better. It sounds way better. But I was just, I mean, now mind you, those videos were recorded in 2020. So that was 3.5 years ago. It's definitely been some time. I used some bullshit ass microphone, you know, and it sounded like I was just in a submarine somewhere. Like, it was so bad. I did what I could as far as editing out that, and then I tweaked the bass a little bit so it sounds slightly better, but you know, they're classics. You can't go wrong with the classics, you know? Drop the entire bounce back sniper. Libright, what the fuck? Drop the entire bounce back course? What's wrong with you? I only have the videos that I have, my friend. And I wouldn't I don't mind leaking my own videos because they're fucking mine. They don't have the watermark. They don't have shit. They're fucking mine. So I'm going to do what I want with my shit. But as far as like other people's stuff, I'm not going to leak that. You know, that's not cool. But anything that I've ever made, yes. And by anything, I mean anything. So you interpret that how you want. But I will say nothing further on the matter. 5-minute imbalance here, right? Obviously that was completely obliterated. Part of the reason why I told you I wouldn't long that. I mean, you're going to long something that's like way up here in a premium. Now, it's not to say that this premium won't hold to go higher. It can still do that. But typically, what I would rather see is a stop run first. I'm just not entirely sure we're going to get that. That was our weakest index today. I don't even want to bother with that. With that hogwash. Oh, so anyway, let me continue. The Smart Money Sniper course, which is, by the way, 100% free. 100% free. Not a single one of those videos is member only. And I tried to put it in order the best way that I could. I didn't make them like that, but in the most structured way possible, I did. The Successful Traders Trio, Fundamentals, which is more so like, you know, explaining manipulation and all that shit. The importance of the New York Stock Exchange opening price, the price delivery, shorting above the open, part 1 and 2, bond yields, seasonality, measuring trade performance, stock options, or intro to stock options, excuse me, refinement, sniper entries. Low risk, high reward, intraday setups, top 10 trading rules, never get break of structure wrong again. The secret to fractals, turtle suit, relative strength analysis, trade management guideline, growing an account, and open interest. All of that for free. And you know what? They're not even monetized either. I turned the monetization off. So you won't even get ads, my friend. You won't even get ads. Well, I don't think so. Unless YouTube does that themselves, then they're assholes. But I didn't manually put ads in those videos. You know what I mean? So hey, man, Christmas came early. Christmas came early. So hopefully you can appreciate that. Let me continue, and then I'll get back to the chat. So that is the Smart Money Sniper course from yours truly. That you could probably get through within like a couple of days. They're only 30 minutes, 18 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 35 minutes, 20, 18, 30, 17, 30, 36, 20, 14, 15, 31, 21, 40, 25. So the longest video is 40 minutes. A couple of them are 36, 30 minutes. Some of them are 12 to 20 minutes. So yeah, you could probably get through that in a couple of days. Someone mentioned the podcast. Well, it's not a podcast, you know, like there's really not video. It's more so for listening. So there's only like 3 of them. They're about 20 minutes each. The last one's 26 minutes. Eliminate distractions and focus, on journaling, strict but not abusive, and the adversity discussion. So, you know, those are a couple things to listen to on your way to work or on your way to whatever, or studying, or whatever you want to do. I think this one's pretty cool. It's the market reviews playlist. So that's got all the, well, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of them. I want to make sure that I got them all. I think so. I might be wrong. But there's 39 market reviews, including the free one that I did on the 18th of 2 months ago. So that way you can watch all of those, right? Those are member only videos. And then there's an actual playlist for members only, which is, those are a lot longer videos. Dealing with drawdown, there's some paper trades in there, some clipped analysis in there, order flow, the mitigation model, institutional candles and fractals. That was a remake of the one I did. Someone mentioned that earlier. They wanted the institutional candles and fractals video I did. I used the same PowerPoint and remade that video. So there's that. Another market review, relative strength analysis. And then there's a few live streams that we did that I made members only as well. So that's going to take longer to get through, because those are about an hour and a half, a little over an hour each. And then there's the premium discount video and a few others. Why each one was saved as a member only video, I don't know specifically. So there you have it. So now you have if I were to do this in order, okay? If you want to put your friends onto this, please understand, okay? Because I still get questions sometimes like, what order do we do this in? Well, I didn't make this channel in order to do that in order. So I didn't, you know, I don't know. But if you're asking me, The first one I would do is the For Students playlist. The second one, I guess, could be the sniper course because everybody wants that kind of shit. Everybody wants a course for whatever reason. And then the third one, I would do personal development, that playlist. Number 4, I would do the market reviews. And then the 5th one, I would do the member only content. Or member only content and then market reviews. Did you guys get that? That's how I would go about it if someone is brand new to this channel or brand new to the Smart Money Stoics community. The For Students playlist, the Smart Money Sniper course, the personal development playlist, and then market reviews, and then member only content. So you get trading, you get personal development, you get some dad jokes here and there. Even though I'm not a dad, but you know, you get some dry humor in there as well. And there's that. So part of it's free, part of it's member only. And I think that's the best way to do it, man. I think that's the best way to do it. So there is that. There's that. Sean said, I thought you had a cold. That's fucked up, man. But no, I think because when I was making those videos, the open interest one and the seasonality one, those were not pre-recorded. So we actually went live and then did those videos. So I was nervous as fuck because I knew this was going into the sniper course. You know what I mean? So I was nervous, and I could tell because I was saying too many words. So it was live, and you can't edit or, you know, do shit. So that's why I was just a young educator trying to give people the sauce, man. Edgar said, I would recommend everyone who trades gold to watch today's video about seasonality, very important sauce. I would agree. I would agree. There's a reason I'm buying silver. You know, I told you guys beforehand that I would long below 22, and it was that day right here. So on the way lower, I had bought some more. We stopped right at that daily imbalance, and then now we're in the 23s. Well, right at 23 right now, but you know, and then gold never took February's low, never did that. And we've rallied. We just took this previous high, but I don't think we're done. Excuse me. We still have all these highs up here. And I would confidently say that we could probably get above 2100. I'm not going to be like Robert Kiyosaki and be like, yeah, gold's going to fucking 4,000. The fuck is he talking about? He said like silver to 68. I don't know. Whoever controls his social media account, it needs to be fucking fired because there's no way. Man's been wrong for like 90 years straight. Myself, however, with the metals, come on. No. I think 2100 could be reasonable. In my personal opinion. So we will have to see how that goes. We'll come back to that in probably February. Probably. we'll have to wait and see. Okay. Divergence while taking London's low, but on candles body, do you see it? To be fair, I didn't really look at the bodies. Here, I didn't look at them. When it comes to the stop run, I typically look at the wicks. You can still do the line chart or the bodies, like that's fine. Because I want to say that I'm not fully awake yet, but I would say Dow was higher and S&P is lower as far as the bodies go. But either way, they're still sweeping previous lows. So, you know, that to me is pretty solid. And the Nasdaq's not giving a super deep retracement here, which to me is probably a indication of strength. Appreciate the comment, Willow. I try to do what I can. I mean, you know, the sniper course, that was 3.5 years ago, you know? And I'm on YouTube now, so I'm going to do what I want with my own content. The only thing I wish I would have done is record more videos that, you know, didn't have certain things on it, like watermarks and stuff like that. But a lot of those videos that I made that were pre-recorded that have nothing on them, oh yeah, that's my shit. Zay has YouTube Premium. I do too. I just got it like a few weeks ago. And the music sounds way better too. High value free content, yes. The adversity discussion. Oh, you like, okay, so Librite likes the adversity discussion. Yeah, bro. I try to cover every topic that relates to trading in some way, because every topic relates to trading in some way. You could be a great analyst, you could be even a decent trader, but you know, if you're susceptible to the opinions of other people or your family and your friends and stuff, very few people can actually get past that. You know what I mean? We value, hopefully in the majority of cases, we value our friends and our family. We value their opinion. And when a lot of people tell you, oh, trading's a scam, fucking John's a scam, or whatever, I don't know what people say. People have said a lot worse about me. So, you know, it's like, if you value that person and you listen to what they say, it's going to be a lot harder to understand trading. People can tell you all the time, no one knows where the market's going. And then I come on here every week and tell you where it's going to go. Not every day, and sometimes I get it wrong, but a lot of the times I'm able to tell you, you know, where it's going to go. I didn't say this today, but we had these levels outlined. Well, this level here outlined on Friday, you know, and it could have went there and it didn't. So that's still, you know, on the table. And then if you were looking for longs this morning, you would have been long today and you'd be fucking up a bag right now on a Monday morning, on a Monday afternoon, you'd be up a fucking fat bag. So you can't listen to what people say. You know what I mean? Go into some of those market reviews when we were still talking about JP Morgan. I called out the fucking low of the year. The low of the year. Fuck you mean no one knows where the markets are going? Monthly time frame, bro. That's the secret. That's the secret to calling trades that are bigger than anyone else. Any fucking one else. Monthly time frame. You see that monthly imbalance be respected? That bitch is in a discount. And you got some high probability targets on the upside for a stock that's in the Dow Jones? Come on. What are we talking about, bro? You know? But anyway, Not that I wanted to go on an ego trip today, but it's just, you're going to face adversity. You're going to face issues where maybe you're a good trader, but you're undercapitalized. And now you're not making as much as you thought because, you want to respect risk. You don't want to over leverage. And so you're trying to make a lot of money, but you're only making, a certain amount because your account's only so big. I mean, there's everything's going to be against you in this life, bro. Not just in life, but in trading. Everything's going to be against you. So that's why we had that discussion on adversity, man. How to get over that kind of shit. And move past it. People still to this day don't understand. People come to me, man, John, I got fired. I got to find a new job. This sucks. Yeah, it does. That does suck. But to be honest, I can't relate. I know that makes me sound like an asshole. It does. But bro, I can't relate. I don't do that. I set myself up to do what I fucking love. So that whole like being pissed off all day, every day, all this putting on a uniform, being stuck in traffic bullshit, I don't relate to that anymore. Because I was too sick of that life, bro. Been there, done that, and I'm done with that shit. But that's how sick of it I was, bro. I said, dog, something's got to change, bro. Because I would rather die than do this shit. That's honestly how I felt. And so it's like, all right, what can I do? So I set myself up for the future. I set myself up for 5 years, 10 years down the road. And I said, all this other bullshit, I'm not messing with. Y'all want to sit, like when I was trading on my phone on a forklift. I used to be a forklift driver, like right when I got out the Navy, okay? And I'd be showing people my profits, my blue screens, if you will. And one guy had something good to say. Like, he was great. I still talk to him sometimes, but he's a cool cat. But the other people, they were a lot older. They didn't understand. And they were just like, why are you on your phone at work? Blah, 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 blah. My 401k's down this year. Overweight. Fucking losers. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, I'm not. But it's just like, dude, if your attitude is rotten, you're fucking overweight and just stuck in the matrix. I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm not fucking listening to you, bro. I'm not listening to you. So whatever you have to say is fuck all. It's rubbish. I didn't think I'd be using that word today. It's just trash. But I think a lot of the times people listen to what I'm saying. They're like, yeah, John, you're right. It's trash. It's garbage. Right. Well, then why are you still listening to those kind of people? Why do you listen to them, dude? You know who gets up every day and puts on that uniform and goes back to that warehouse? Not me. Not fucking me. This is where I am. On a computer with you guys from all over the world pressing fucking buttons. Having a energy drink. Don't judge. Don't judge. I got shorts on right now, but in any other case, I'd be in my drawers. You got to push through all of that fucking nonsense, all of people's nonsense and garbage. You got to push past all that. You got to go, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because they don't. You got to listen to people who have what you want. And if they don't have what you want, then what they have to say, to be honest, is irrelevant. It's 100% irrelevant. You can't listen to a broke person about money. You can't listen to a person who's overweight about being healthy or losing weight. You just can't. I only started talking about that after I lost 20 pounds last year. I lost 20 pounds and then said, all right, guys, you know what? It's probably time to be healthy. I didn't go, you know what? I'm the highest weight I've ever been. Let's talk about health. No, bro. I had to drop 20 pounds and then go, okay. Now I gotta let other people know what the business is, because this is it. You know what I mean? And I can't talk to you about something that I haven't done. You know? So you got to let other people be miserable. And that's hard for some people too, because they're your friends and they're your family. John, I want them to trade. Bro, they don't want to trade. They don't want to trade. They want to go to work every day and sit in traffic and bitch and watch fucking football and, you know, play fantasy sports and bet the last $20 they got on a fucking parlay. You know, and then bitch about how they're wrong and lose money, and they're just going to work forever. The Matrix has their fucking plug so far up their ass, they're gone. They're done. They don't want to be unplugged. They want to stay there. They want to huddle under the blankets and stay warm. They don't want to get uncomfortable. They don't want to unplug. They don't want to learn the skill set. Because it's hard, bro. And it's much easier to sit there and complain. Misery loves company, bro. Sorry. Lee Bright let the cat out of the bag, man. I didn't want to go I didn't want to go down this conversation today, but every once in a while we got to have it. Every once in a while I got to remind you guys that if you're part of the Matrix, or you're surrounded by people who are part of the Matrix, it is difficult, bro. It is difficult to break out of that. I know it is. Shit, I was part of that club too, bro. Trust me, I was part of that club. That's why I know it so well. That's why I know that club so well, because I used to be a member. I used to be a gold member to the miserable club, to the Matrix Club. I've been there. But it didn't take long for me to go, you know what? I'm looking around, I'm like, this ain't it. I'll never forget, there was the first job I ever had was Wendy's, just so you know. Fucking horrendous. And I was at one Wendy's, and then I got transferred to another one. And at the second Wendy's, this was at the location was just outside a little bit of a better neighborhood. Okay. And I remember I was working the drive-thru. Of course, white boys gonna work the drive-thru. And I just remember every once in a while, there would be a Corvette that would come by. I think I saw a Lamborghini one time. It didn't pull up though. It was like down the street. I saw a Lamborghini one time. And I remember looking at these cars, and there was I think I saw a Maserati one time too. So it was like once a month I would see just some awesome car. And I'm not talking like the old shit. Like it was what, 2013, 2012, 2013. It wouldn't be like a 2012 Lamborghini. I mean, it wouldn't be like a 2001 Lamborghini. It'd be like a 2010 Lamborghini in 2013, right? So like relatively new, not like old shit, okay? And I just remember being in the window looking at these cars, and obviously, you know, taking orders or whatever. And I just remember that I'm like, bro, I will never get a car like this working here. I'll never do it. It will never happen. And yeah, I just started noticing more and more. I became more observant. And I would just see like, oh, this person's 40, 50 years old. They're fucking fat, unhealthy, miserable, broke, just awful. And you know, I'm not judging people. You know, it's like, okay, whatever. But I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be like that. I was like, I don't want to be like that. So anyway, let me catch up on the chat. for just a minute. Stage fright before a camera. Yes, I would agree. Those lows are swept in my broker. Edgar, your broker is shady. Sort of like some of the women I've dated, but we're going to move on. 45 of the last. Yeah, Cameron, that's hilarious. Robert called 45 of the last one market crashes. We can always cover those water. You're right, Willow. I have an old man at work. He gives me more encouragement than my family members. Every day he asks me how the market's going, if I had a win or loss with good intentions, while my dad doesn't care. Well, yeah, because that old guy, he sees your potential, bro. That old man, he probably knows that he screwed up. Probably wasted money, didn't fund retirement, or maybe you didn't even have an opportunity for retirement. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make judgments about somebody I've never met before, but I'm just saying, like, I could see as an old man looking, or an old woman, you know, you look at your life and you go, man, I fucked up here and here and here. And he probably sees like, oh, there's this young guy. He's trading the stock market. He's probably going to be super successful. Let me do what I can to help him out. And he may not know much, but if he's able to give you encouragement, then, you know, that's the best that he can do. And that's a good person. At least in that sense. Needs a lot of stoicism to deal with these people. Yes, it does. But this is why I talk about it, though, because and this is something that even some of the books I've recommended, which hopefully you've read, I can only fucking hope, but when it comes to criticism, and I do write about this in my next book, just so you know. When it comes to criticism, the first thing you should look for is probably not what was said, but you need to understand who said it. Right? Who is criticizing you? And if they're old and fat and unsuccessful, why are you even bothered? Who fucking cares? You know? Credibility matters. So if they're not even credible, then don't even bother with what they're saying. But now if it's someone else, like if a super fit guy came up to me and he was like, hey, John, you know, I saw you doing push-ups, but, you know, maybe you should do this instead. I'd be like, oh, okay, thanks, bro. Thanks for the great advice. I appreciate that. You know, because he's in a better position than I am, you know, maybe can help me out a certain way. That's different. So yeah, first thing is when it comes to criticism, you got to see who's saying that shit. And then you won't be offended. Because you're like, oh, this person's just jealous. Like, I wasn't going to bring this up. I didn't even know how I was going to bring this up. But there was a kid the other day. Fucking stupid. This kid comes into Kroger. And he's being loud and obnoxious. He's some teenager. Right? And so, of course, and even myself, we all turned around to look at him. Because when people are obnoxious, that's what people do, right? And he's like, I don't know what y'all are looking at. Y'all need to go get you some money. And I fucking started laughing, bro. I had the biggest smile on my face. Because I'm like, bro, you're a teenager talking about go get you some money. I'm like, bro, you don't even know. So this shit was just funny. Because it's funny because it's like, who are you to talk about money, bro? You're a kid. Unless you're a trust fund baby, you're fucking broke, bro. What are you talking about? You know? And like, that's kind of the level that I'm at when people, you know, say shit. It's just like, you're fucking nobody, bro. So that's it. Tier 3 Matrix member. Yeah, I was. Cameron wants to know what type of car I drive. Cameron. You'd be surprised, bro. I don't have a sports car. I was looking at I don't want to tell you because it's gonna be a surprise, but I was looking at something the other day, and bro, I looked at my credit too, and even with good credit, like I think 730, 740, something like that. Even with good credit, sports cars, bro, their fucking interest rate is ridiculous. Even I mean, it was like 8, 9%. I'm like, Jesus. So I was trying to wait a little bit because the car market the last like 2 years. What the fuck? Can you guys still hear me? Can you drop a 1 if you can hear me? Okay, thank you. Sorry, the computer did its thing again. He lost 40,000 in the stock market because of his emotions. You're absolutely right. Oh, talking to you about emotions. Oh yeah. See, 40K, that would not be fun. Yeah, if I lost 40K, it wouldn't destroy me, but emotionally I would have a really bad fucking day. I'll tell you that. Cuz that's never fun. But what I was saying is the car market the last 2 years has been absolutely ridiculous. So there are certain cars that I want, but you know, there just comes a point where you just don't want to overpay for shit. I've always been a fan of Corvettes. I like Corvettes. The ones that look like Lamborghinis, to me, I think that was a move they never should have done. That's kind of like, who was it? The Chrysler 300. You know, trying to look like the Ghost or like a Rolls Royce. Like that to me is, come on, that's just retarded. So the 2021, 2020, all the way to 2024 Corvettes, you know, they almost look like Lamborghinis to an extent. And I don't really care for that. But I don't know. They're cool, but paying that much interest, you know, over, like, it's just overpriced. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the point I'm trying to get at. But I drive an old Cadillac, bro. I love my Cadillac. You know, it's cool. I don't like the new Cadillacs though. I like the old ones. The C8, and they're taxing. Oh yeah, bro. No, they're definitely taxing. And that's the thing, like I look at how much you overpay and it's like, okay, do I really want to do this? You know, what would the Stoics say? The Stoics would be like, bro, you just need a car from A to B and fuck everything else. And it would almost be, what's the word I'm looking for? It would almost be hypocritical to get a Corvette if I'm a, you know, teacher of not just trading, but of like Stoic philosophy. Because if you really understand the Stoics, you would understand that that's how they felt about wealth. It's like just bare minimum clothes, bare minimum house, bare minimum car, you know, and be indifferent to it. And that goes against the I guess, the stigma around trading, right? Oh, you're a trader, you're a YouTuber, whatever, you know, you should be driving Lamborghinis and all that shit. Like, bro, it's better to be wealthy than it is to look wealthy. Okay? Which is also a chapter in my next book. And that's a whole nother conversation. But I might get one, I might not. I just don't know. I just don't know. That's a lunch low on Dow, and that's like a morning session low for Dow as well. So that same consolidation that we saw on the other indices, really, you know, that's been taken here on Dow. To be honest, I don't want to be bearish here. I don't want to be bearish here because of Nasdaq possibly going higher. But there's just a small gap right here inside this imbalance. We've reacted a little bit. If it is going to trade lower, it could possibly come down here. But again, I just don't care for that. I would trust 14,900 on Nasdaq more so than I would for downside. But I could be wrong. The down might trade lower below those, but I'd rather go with a higher objective personally. Lucas, I wasn't into trading when I was at Wendy's. I was 16 years old when I started at Wendy's. And I didn't get into trading until I was 20. 19 or no, I had just turned 20. So that was before the Wendy's was before the markets. But Wendy's was terrible because I got paid like dog shit. That was right around the time that I got cheated on in high school too. So I was getting paid dog shit. I would watch these sports cars come by, not mine. Then you get cheated on. Then you get your paycheck for like fucking $200-$300. I'm like, this is trash. So that whole 16, 17, 18 years old, like that whole time window was just trash for me. It was so bad. You know? So that's the extent of that. Seneca. Oh, Seneca definitely would be. Seneca would definitely be driving a Lamborghini in today's world. He'd probably be a politician too. He would probably be the Nancy Pelosi equivalent of today's world. In my opinion. And he would fight against you know, be like, no, politicians, we should be able to trade the stock market. There's no you know, there's no conflict of interest there. The material trappings in the past and came close to losing everything. Learned the car, the clothes, etc. don't make the person. Exactly like you said, be wealthy, not look wealthy, right? I feel way better having, you know, 20,000 in my pocket and wearing a fucking t-shirt than I do wearing 20,000 and not having anything in my pocket. or even 5K or 10K. I mean, shit, have something, bro. Again, I don't want to come off like an asshole, but people who are broke, like dead broke, like so far broke they're in debt, I don't know how they sleep at night. I don't. I'm not saying money's the most important thing in the world, because it's not. It's not even top 5. But it's just the peace of mind. I don't understand. Like, if I was broke and in debt and maybe in my mid 20s, or even I'm about to be 30 here pretty soon. Oh man. Oh no. I would have insomnia. I would have fucking insomnia, dude. Because I would be like, I gotta get some money, dude. I gotta get some money. I'd be hustling to do something, because there's just no way I wouldn't be able to do it. I just would not be able to do it, bro. So we haven't made a lower low here on Nasdaq. I don't know if that means anything right now, but we haven't made a lower low yet, where the other indices have. We'll have to see. Oh my God, we've been here for an hour already. You guys have let me talk my mouth off today. In Italy, in Italy, used cars that used to cost 2K, now you can find them at 3 to 4K. Yeah, Alex, that's my point. That's my point. And I'm not against sports cars, but it's like, bro, how much are you willing to overpay? Frosties are fire though. Hey, it was funny because when somebody would say, "Hey, I want a Frosty," I'd be like, "Do you want vanilla chocolate or both?" And they'd be like, "Oh, I can get both." And I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, you can get both." I wouldn't say it like that, but I'd be like, "Yeah, you can get both." They're like, "Okay, cool, let me do that." And then I would do vanilla on the bottom and chocolate on top. And let me tell you something. Chocolate by itself, solid. And then it slowly transitions into now it's a mixture of both. And then it ends on vanilla. Bro, I used to be a badass, man. There was a time, I don't think I ever told you guys about Steak and Shake. I don't think I ever told you about Steak and Shake. I did tell you about Bobby, that manager, that overweight woman who, was being transferred to another store. So she tried to get me fired on my last day, which she did. She called the cops. I was dragged out. It was terrible. But before that, leading up to that, there was a cook. He was a manager too. His name was Jonathan. So we had the same name. I'm like, all right, he's cool. And I used to close the store with Jonathan sometimes. And so 20, 30 minutes before closing, he would make like whatever he wanted. He would just chef up some shit. And I think he was going to school to be a chef as well. And so we would just make random shit all the time. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to do this and that and the third." I'd be like, "All right, let me get one." So I had my own secret menu. And I remember sometimes people would come in and they'd be like, I'd be like, "Hey, what do you want?" And they'd be like, "Well, I don't know. What do you recommend?" And I would say, "Well, I would get this, but I make mine a little bit different. Do you want me to do that?" And they'd be like, "Oh, hell yeah. Let me get it how you get it." Dude, I had this fucking burger, right? It was a barbecue burger, but I subbed the cheese for like Swiss, and then I added like garlic sauce. And I mean, it was fucking awesome. Okay. And I used to have, after like a couple months of that, I used to have regulars that came in and just got that. That's what they wanted. No shit. This this one girl, okay, she was my coworker, All right. And she had told me one time, she was like, "Hey, you weren't here on Monday or whatever." And I'll be like, "Yeah, I had the day off." And she would say, "Hey, you know what? Well, these people came in and you weren't here, so they fucking left. They went somewhere else because you weren't here." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty touching. That's interesting." But yeah, I mean, I had customers that were like, "Bro, this should be on the menu." They were like, "You got to put this fucking burger on the menu." And I was like, "I'll see what I can do." You know, it never happened. And then, of course, cops dragged me out a few months later, and Adam, the guy who owned the store, he saw what I texted Bobby, and he was like, "Bro, I want to hire you back, but," he was like, "I got the two walls of text you sent to Bobby, and for that reason, I can't hire you back." I said, "Okay, well, it's cool, man. Don't even worry about it." Then I went to the Navy, I think like maybe 6 or 8 months later or something like that. But yeah, anyway, the whole point is I had, fun at those jobs. If I was a waiter, I would, slowly eat different things on the menu, try shit out, and then eventually just make my own concoctions of food and drinks and desserts and stuff like that. And that was fun. Like, that part was fun. But not making a lot of money was not fun. That was trash. But good life lessons, though. So that's why when I get Uber or when I go out to eat, I always tip well, even if the service is shit. Because I'm just like, you know what, bro? Been there, done that. Which, in turn, if you're generous, I believe that you'll be rewarded for it. So now, some people, they might not want me to bring up the Bible or talk about God or anything like that. But to be fair, the Bible says that God loves a generous heart. So I said, you know what? All right, I'll be generous then. And, well, I can tell you that the last 10 years has gone pretty well for me. So if there's ever anything you want to write down, you can feel free to write that one down. Despite whatever, whatever it is that you believe, I'm not going to try and, convince you of one thing or another, but that's what I will say. Let me look this up real quick before we hop off here. Oh, 2 Corinthians 9:7. God loves a cheerful giver. All right. Well, that's not very ambiguous, is it? Short, sweet, to the point. Be generous. So I'm like, okay. Well, what else can I do? I don't want to just be generous with my money. I mean, I'm not going to give away all my money. I'll give away some of it, but I'm not going to give away my money. It's like, what else can I give? I'm like, all right, I'll do a sniper course, make it free. I'll make other videos. I'll make them free. I'll do some paid content. I want to get paid for the value that I provide too, to an extent, right? But I'll make my streams free. I'll invite anybody to watch. I'll give you guys book recommendations of things that I believe you would enjoy. I'll tweet quotes from Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Heraclitus. I don't think I have any from Zeno or some of the other ancient philosophers, but I mean, shit, dude. Just be generous, man. Some people, not that I wanted to get into this conversation today either, but if you ever have wondered why you haven't been successful, you should look at how stingy you are. That was a hard lesson too. That was a very hard lesson for me to learn. It's hard to be generous when you think you don't have a lot to give. Am I wrong? John, I don't have money to give. I can't be generous with money. That was my first thought too. But that's the thing, is I misinterpreted what it means to be generous. I thought that's what that meant. But that's not. There are so many other things that you can give. Your time, your energy, sure, your money, maybe some possessions. You can give away knowledge. You can give away advice. You can give away books. I give away books all the time. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things to do. You know, and just think about this. Okay, we're going to hop off here. I could talk to you all day long. But we haven't really done anything here today as far as what I've been looking for. We just haven't done a lot. But for the afternoon, I do want to see us trade up here to 14.9. I could be wrong, but that's what I would like to see. You know, think about this. Before we hop off here, think about this for just a minute. I want you to think for a second. Think about yourself and then think about other people. And think the people that you know that are stingy, are they successful? And think about the people who are successful. Are they stingy? Or are they open and generous with their stuff or their time and energy? Think about that. And you might be like, well, John, you know, I know this successful person and they're stingy. Okay, well, that might be like one case. But think about the majority of cases. And out of all the people that I know that are, you know, pretty successful, I would say at least 8 out of every 10 are very generous. I would say at least 8 out of every 10. So think about that. For the rest of today, just think about it. You know, maybe you're the person who's stingy. All right. Well, think about why you don't have the success that you don't have. Maybe that's part of it. Well, John, that doesn't even make sense, bro. You know, I just want to trade and make money. I don't see how being generous is going to help me with that. Well, look, bro, there are certain things I just cannot explain to you. There are certain things I just don't know how to explain. If you want me to continue, I will for just a minute on this thought, because I do feel like it ties a little bit into a belief system. Okay. But let me tell you something. We have our own math. The markets have their math too. The S&P, the ES, okay? The ES market is $50 a point per contract. That doesn't change. That doesn't change. Okay, it's still $50 every point for every contract. That's how it is. We have our own math too as human beings. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, right? That won't change. But if there's one thing that I know, bro, okay? And feel free to write this down. Your math is not God's math. It's just not. It's not the same. Our math is not God's math. It's just not. You see, to us, 2 plus 2 is 4. But, you know, God's math is like, okay, 2 plus 2, I'll make it 40. Because you're going to be blessed with a lot more than what you give. I can't explain the math to you. I can't. All I know is that it's not the same math, bro. It's just not. Willow, you're fired. But I would say outside of the trading realm, if you want exponential gain, be a giver. Be generous. Just be generous. You might have, let's say, $100 to your name. It's your last $100 before payday. You can give away like $5 or maybe $10. You know what I mean? I have a whole plethora of books. I don't mind giving one or two of them away. Even maybe one that I like. I can just buy a new one. I can replace it. But if you give something away, and if there's even a little bit of pain involved, because it might have sentimental value, or it might even have real world value, you know, something expensive, and it pains you to give it away, but you do it anyway, bro, trust, it will come back like tenfold. I think it's what the Bible says. I'm not sure, but it works. But if you're stingy, you're never going to understand that, because you're never going to give yourself a chance to see that. You're never going to see a chance, you know, an opportunity to see that. $70 times 7 is given back. Well, Nikki, I thought that was the forgiveness one. I thought it was one of them who asked Jesus how many times we should forgive, and then he said 70 times 7. He was trying to make a point, like, about forgiveness and not having like a limit on that. But maybe I'm wrong, bro. I don't know. There's quite a number of verses in the Bible, okay? I don't know every single one of them. There's a lot. But that is what I do know. Okay? That is one thing I do know, is that we made a new low on Nasdaq. So I'm not going to be bothered with this just yet. But one thing I do know is that God's math is not our math, bro. And you will not understand that until it happens to you. I'm just saying. Because again, on a mathematical basis, doesn't make sense. But just try it. I think we've talked about that before. I said, just try it, bro. Just give something away. And see what happens later. Like, don't expect something, but just, you know, forget about it and then see if you're not rewarded later on. I wouldn't tell you something like that unless I've either lived it or believe it myself, or both, really. I'm wondering if if that ends up being a mitigation for later. I don't know. It's Monday. I don't have high expectations. But what I'll leave you with is this, because I could just keep going, I swear. We have an alert, either on the micros or NQ, whatever you want to do. I would put an alert up here at 14,887. I think we did that on Friday. That alert's still open. If we don't get that today, I still think that could be on the table for tomorrow. I'm just not entirely sure, okay? But that's what I'm going to leave you with. So, if there's one thing that you learn from today, number one is to be generous. Number two, keep your alerts and price levels, even if they don't hit the day that you thought they were going to happen. Number three, you got to listen to people who have what you want. If you listen to people who don't have results, it ain't going to go well for you. Number 4, criticism. When it comes to criticism, context matters. You know, who is saying what they're saying. And I think that's about it. So with that being said, we will be here same time, same place tomorrow on Tuesday for another live session here in the afternoon, and hopefully we get something a little bit better than what we've seen here for the indices. Oh, and Dow did take that short-term low right there. So, I mean, I guess that would have been an okay play. I didn't, it was at 12:45. I mean, we were in front of the chart at the time, but I just wasn't focused on that. But that did pan out at least. So, I guess. But anyway, hopefully y'all learned something. Be good, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place.